Hello there, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dragon Tale Tarot. My name is Ariel, and this is your reading for the full moon in Gemini that occurs on December 12th, 2019. This is going to be a great full moon for y'all because this is the opposite sign from Sagittarius, so it's going to bring up a lot of dynamic energy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining me. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel, and if you were returning, thank you for joining me yet again. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I'm so grateful for all the folks that have been joining recently. This is still a pretty new channel, so watching it build and grow is really beautiful. So Sagittarius, big happy birthday to y'all out there, whether you've already had it or whether it's coming up, because we're definitely in the time of your sun sign moving through. First, let me get a few quick notes out of the way before we get started. This is a general reading. It's not going to resonate with every Sagittarius out there. This is going to resonate with some more than others for sure. If it does resonate with you, then those messages are meant for you. If it does not resonate with you, kick them on out to another Sagittarius out there. Mostly this will correspond with Sagittarius Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising signs. So do check your chart, because if you have planet placements in other signs than Sagittarius, which most of us do, respective to our sun sign, those readings may resonate with you even better or on a different vibrational level. And all Sagittarius crosswatchers are welcome to join as well. All my information is below in the description box regarding personal readings, card decks I use, etc. And if you have not yet done so, I do invite you to reach out there, hit that subscribe button, join the Dragon family, and give it that dragon claw up by clicking the like button, and let me know that you enjoyed this content. All right, so Sagittarius, let's talk a little bit about that full moon, and then we're going to jump into a past, present, future card spread about the energy of the full moon. So having it be in Gemini is significant, especially for you, because in your universal chart, that is, what's going to affect all Sagittarians. The 7th house is going to be lit up by that Gemini full moon. So I would put those energies together, because the full moon always brings up a higher state of emotion. It always brings our subconscious to the surface, the things that we have deep inside of ourselves. And when it's in the sign of Gemini, that's going to be about communication, because Gemini is Mercury ruled. It's all about expression, the way we think, the way we talk, the way we express ourselves, and what's most important to us. It's like what's on our mind the most. And so that's why Geminis, they're talkers, or people with, a prominent Mercury position. They just won't stop talking. I have Mars conjunct my Mercury in my chart. So yeah, I have a lot of energy for communication. And sometimes it just can't shut up. It's the way it is. So Sagittarius, this full moon is going to be sitting in that 7th house for you. And the 7th house is the Libra house. So add it all up together, you will be communicating and thinking and sharing a whole lot about relationships, about love, about partnerships. And this doesn't just have to do with romance. It can also be things like, co-workers, how you're doing in your partnerships on the job, contracts that you've entered into and agreements and things like that, friendships, all of that. It comes up under that area of the 7th house. So your mind will, even if you hadn't been thinking about it a whole lot lately, it will start coming up around this full moon, because it's lighting it up. It's like that couple of days, it's like, ooh, I'm getting a tap from the universe saying I need to call someone that I haven't called in a while, or I need to talk to somebody I haven't talked to, or I'm missing somebody. So don't be surprised, Sag, if all that kind of stuff does come to the surface. The sun, like I said, is still moving through Sagittarius, so that's lighting up your 1st house. So this is generally a really great energetic time for you all. And that Gemini full moon is here to play. So let's go ahead and get into your cards. I'm going to be pulling from some lunar-based decks for that full moon energy, and also getting into the tarot to deepen up the messages. Dear angels, divine beings of light, my guardians, ancestors, helpers, and healers, please be with the Sun, Moon, Venus, and rising sign of Sagittarius as we do the reading for the full moon in Gemini on December 12th, 2019. Please protect their energy as well as mine, and bring through clear, accurate messages for their highest good. Thank you so much. Ooh, okay, so Sagittarius, this does not surprise me at all, some of this. Okay, so be bold and make the first move comes up in the past position with the cardinal moon energy. So cardinal is one of the modalities that signs can be. Cardinal, mutable, or fixed. And cardinal tends to be the most leadership oriented. So in this immediate past, this is kind of pertaining to the full moon that we passed by in Taurus, which would have been hitting your universal sixth house. Would have been a lot of healing time for you. A lot of cleansing, a lot of detoxing, a lot of reflecting, helping others. That kind of energy came up with this last full moon. And so this gave you a little boost, gave you a little energy to kind of, surge ahead and make the first move and step out a little more boldly. Now going into this energy of the Gemini full moon, interestingly enough, you've got the Void of Course moon card, which is nothing will come of this situation. So to me, Sagittarius, this is always my energy card that I kind of say don't push the river on, because Void of Course moon cycles, they're in between the moon phases. Like when the moon is between two signs, sometimes there will be a little bit of lag. It's almost like a mini Mercury retrograde that comes up, because it's almost like, okay, the energy is just not as strong. So during those Void of Course moods, which can last anywhere from a few minutes to even up to a day, it's good to have, like, I showed it in my last reading because Scorpio actually pulled that card in their session as well. But I always do buy like an astrological guide, because it's going to show the full moon and the void moon and the cycles. And so, if you can avoid like solidifying plans or doing something major during a Void of Course moon, that's always preferable, because the energy just isn't as high. So with the Gemini moon, that's bouncing back up against that Sagittarius sun for you. So it's kind of telling you, Sagittarius, if things feel kind of intense, if they feel kind of, riled, just relax. Don't push the river. Go with the flow, because there's that Void of Course energy. So coming up into the immediate future, this is kind of the 30 days or so after the full moon. The super moon is there with emotions running high. So the emotions really come up to the surface very, very strongly, I think, during this full moon time for you. For a lot of you, you're going to feel that. And so this may result in you getting better in touch with your emotions. You may have those conversations, like I said, that are very important to have. And so the emotions might come rising back up to the surface, and you will be feeling that. So let's pull some more cards for you. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so Sagittarius, wow, you set some boundaries for yourself in this past full moon phase, because look at that. You've got that waning, let's see, is that waning or waxing? That's the waxing gibbous. So that's the building energy. That's very positive. And you really put up that protective, look at that, the protective bubble around yourself, right? Somebody was pulling some fast moves, but you were bold. You stepped up and you said, no, I'm putting up a protective layer around myself, and I'm not going to let anything nasty come into my sphere of energies. And look at this, going into the future. Look at that, the masculine, divine masculine, the lunar god coming in here. And Sagittarius, regardless of gender, you are a masculine sign, masculine energy, very fiery. And so to me, this is like relax and step into your power, your divine leadership. You don't have to push. You don't have to be, overbearing. You just lead by example. And so if people are being, rude or difficult or whatever around you, that you don't like, you don't have to really resist, because this is a powerful card. This is the divine masculine. So it's like step into that divine power of leadership and just say, I'm going to lead by my good example. And so then look at this beautiful card with the waxing crescent coming in on top of the emotions running high, the card of self-love, which is all about taking good care of yourself, remembering your self-worth, especially if you've brought out a lot of emotional things, which many times it may lead you to kind of beat up on yourself, but this is really reminding you, don't do that, Sagittarius. Don't beat up on yourself. Don't feel bad for being emotional. Don't feel bad for having feelings. Remember to love yourself. Remember to take good care of yourself. This could also be pointing to, just doing something nice for yourself. That number 6 is very aligned with love, with pleasure, with a little bit of luxury. Buy yourself some flowers, whatever it is that would just perk up your day. Might be a good idea. So we're going to move Mr. Dragon. He's got his little holiday crown on. And we're going to bring over the tarot, and we're going to deepen these messages up for you. A lot of good waxing energy there, Sagittarius, with these cards. It's like the moon is on the increase. So it's like things are improving, things are growing. Beautiful kind of energy there. And this is also the last full moon of 2019, and it's the last full moon of the whole decade. So it's very significant. It's a very strong energy coming in. Ooh, so Sagittarius, for some of you, wow, you're really, you started embarking on some kind of new pathway in this past position. Like over this last month or so, you really put up some strong boundaries, and then it's like you really started saying, you know what, I'm not going to chase anything down. I'm going to let things come to me. Sagittarius, you're well known for traveling and pursuing your dreams and goals, but now I feel almost like you're stepping, some of you especially, you're stepping into an energy you're like, I don't want to chase it anymore. I don't need to rush. And what's interesting is going into the future, right, with that void of course moon, where it's saying, don't push the river, don't worry so much. It's like you are embracing a little bit more of that, instead of chasing things down or people down or situations down. It's like, you know what? I'm going to sit back and let it come to me. I'm not going to worry so much. So let's get a clarifier for that 3 of Wands, please. Oh my goodness. And so Sagittarius, this isn't going to be for every Sag out there, I know, but this is really funny. And for those of you that this resonates with, this is great. So here comes the Lover's card, which is the Gemini card. It's the Gemini energy. So this is definitely bringing in that full moon Gemini vibe for you. Wow. And so for some of you, you might be interested in somebody. They might be interested in you. Maybe, your natural urge would generally to be to chase them down or pursue them. But Sag, you're like, no, I'm going to let them come to me. I'm not going to chase them this time. If they really want me, they know where I am. And this is, again, about communication and about decisions, because it is that Gemini energy, but that just cracks me up. I can just feel some of y'all out there being like, nope, you come on over here. I'm not coming to you anymore. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it's like, I get this feeling like some of you, it's almost just like, oh, you're just done. You're just done. It's like, I'm not falling for that trick any longer, especially if this is an established relationship where it's kind of been like, back and forth. There's a back and forth going on there, Sag. So going into the future, on top of that divine masculine, that leadership role, look at that. 10 of Pentacles, stepping into your power, stepping into your abundance, and very deep, very grounded, very solid kind of energy. Making your dreams and wishes come true, manifesting your goals and your outcomes. It's like whether that person came along for the ride or not, It's like you're going to be happy. You're going to step into your divine power either way. Very, very beautiful. But you know what, Sag? If they decide to come along for the trip, they're going to be happy they did, because they'll realize how much you really do have to offer. Okay, Ten of Pentacles. Let's get a clarifier. Yes, and a lot to celebrate. Sagittarius, I feel like this is going to come into some beautiful energy, especially when you just don't push. It's like, don't push the river, don't rush ahead, don't chase things, let them come to you. And look, I mean, when you do that and you just step into that power of just knowing and being, it's like you're so magnetic when you do that, and you just bring that good stuff straight to you. Then we get into the future here, the future position on top of that self-love. Look what happens here with the Two of Cups coming up. So for Sagittarius, some of you, it's like when you start loving on yourself, the love that you desire, the person that you want, that soul-connected love and connection comes right on forward. But it really is about being good to yourself, recognizing your value first. Not being ashamed of your emotions. You know, my feeling is if you tell somebody how you feel and you really open and honest and, you know, upfront about your feelings, and they reject it, or they don't want to deal with it, or they think you're just being difficult or fussy, then they're not any good for you anyway. And so when you know, you're going to have that, I think a lot of you are going to have that reveal when you open up about something, and then it's like whether or not they you know, are receptive to that or not, then you know what to do. Whether you move on or not, you're gonna start drawing a better kind of person, better kind of partners to you. Whether you're coupled up or whether you're single, it's like it could be the, you know, promise of a relationship that's already established getting better, or it can be you either move on, you break something off with someone, and something better starts to come in, and you raise that vibration. So let's pull a clarifier for the Two of Cups, please, Spirit. And yeah, Page of Coins. So it is, I think, the energy here feels more new for me, like a new relationship coming into being, because the page is usually a young, you know, new energy, and it's also about a real solid message. Page of Pentacles. It's like it's bringing forward something that's real, that's a real offer, that's something that's truly going to manifest. Very beautiful reading, Sagittarius. For any of you that's this really resonating with, I love it. That's just a great, great feeling to this spread. So let's pull a spirit animal card for you and complete this message for today. Okay, I like that. Coyote, the revealer of truth. And this is what it's all about. I think this is really about being very emotionally honest, letting your feelings that are at the surface just overflow, loving yourself. And when you love yourself, better connections and better people come into your life. Don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. Maybe that's why I was laughing so much. Because I get this feeling, Sagittarius, so much for so many of you, that it's kind of like, I'm not going to get so heavy. I'm not going to get so down. If somebody's not wanting to step up and be with me, haha, I'm just going to sit back here and do my thing and have a great time and be awesome. And they'll just be missing out if they don't come along. So yeah, I think that's really what it is. I hope you have a beautiful full moon, and I will be talking to you all very soon. Take care.